Mr. Brightside clear, and he's going to rack up another one. Mr. Brightside one from Pericles, Buffalo River, Dr. Shoot.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the rating show, episode number 2 this time. Didn't have one last week because there wasn't enough horses for me to showcase, so I thought I'd let it roll over to this week, and now we have enough horses for a video. We're going to take a look at 6 different horses that rated really high on my Timeform ratings from meetings all around Victoria over the past 2 weeks. You would see now on screen our recent runners from our first episode of the rating show. A win in 2 seconds. The reason that Triggerific has got an asterisk next to it is because I said I only want it if it's running over 1400 metres next start. It ran over 1600 at Moe, where it hit the front at the 150, paddled late over 1600 metres and ran second. Still a decent run, but the asterisk is next to it because I didn't really want it over 1600 metres. We'll get straight on with how the ratings have fared this week. And for the upcoming runners this week, we only have one from the last rating show that it has accepted for Sandown on Wednesday. I think it's in race number 7, Gronkowski. I was really happy with how this horse rated last start, and I'll be following it into Wednesday night, twilight meeting at Sandown. But we get straight on with this week's rating stars, and we're going to start at Pakenham. This was from last week, 2 weeks ago. That makes sense. A lative in one of the Future Stars series races at Pakenham. As you'll be able to see, it was a bit of a car crash for a lative, was buried back in the field, couldn't get clear running for Damien Lane, and when it started to get through its gears and went back to the inside, it picked them off late. Not all of them, but in terms of length margin, it shortened it before the finish. So I thought it was a really good run from a lative. You won't get much of a price next start no matter where it goes. I think Price and Ken will send it to a maiden, just an open maiden somewhere, or maybe even a 3-year-old maiden somewhere, and I'd be following it with confidence. The next replay we're going to take a look at is from Black Caviar Lightning Stakes Day, where the highest rated horse of the week was Riff Rocket from that 2 weeks ago week. So this was it winning the CS Hayes at Flemington. It would be obvious that the highest rating horse would come from the Saturday Premier meeting in Victoria, but that's not the case on the next week. Riff Rocket, this was a good win from the back. It's targeting the Australian Guineas this week, Saturday Flemington, so be sure to follow it for that race because if it produces the same rating it did here, first up, it just only will improve further into its preparation and further out in distance, so it should peak again or go higher than what it did first up, and if that's the case, it should be really hard to beat in the Australian Guineas. Follow it. The next replay to take a look at was from last Tuesday at Benalla. The win of Crown Crusher rated very highly in race number 5 over 1600 metres, and we're going to take a look at its win. Sat off the field of 6, powered around them to score a good win by 2 lengths. Now this horse was 4th up on Tuesday at Benalla, so it's just getting into its prime. Its first 3 runs this campaign have all been over sprint to 1400 metre distances, so I think getting out and trip with this horse is ideal. I'd be following it next start over a trip again. It ran in a few 3-year-old handicaps with Mark and Levi Kavanagh, its previous trainers, so I just think 1600 metres and beyond is what this horse wants, and I'll be following it next start if that happens. The highest rated performance of last week, by quite a way actually, was on Wednesday twilight meeting at Sandown, Ostmar. Now Sandown got this track really firm, and Osmar almost broke Black Caviar's 55.42 record with this win. Went to the front, Osmar, and they couldn't catch it. This is a really big horse, and it's really fast, which combined together makes a really good racehorse. So I think this horse, Osmar, is going places. I think 1,000 metres is its go. I'd want it over 1,000 metres next start to back it, especially if it's around a tight turning track like Moonee Valley or Cranbourne or something like that. I know it won at Sandown pretty comprehensively, but I just think Moonee Valley leaders are more suited and you'll just scoot around there and they won't be able to catch it in my opinion. So Osmar, wherever it goes next, I'll be following it, especially over 1,000 metres. The last replay we're going to be taking a look at is from race 7 at Terang last Friday afternoon, and the runs of Super Snitch and Active Duty need to be highlighted because they were really good. Active Duty, I want to be following more than Super Snitch. I think Active Duty's still a maiden, so I think next start in the 27k maiden, Active Duty will be getting the job done, and I want to be following that horse. Super Snitch, on the other hand, 3 runs ago, started a $2.60 favourite at the Valley when it was unlucky behind Zamborghini and Star Vega. They're really good horses, and you were able to get $5.50 about Super Snitch at a benchmark 58. I think this horse represents extreme value, and I want to be following it wherever it goes next. But that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Ratings Show. Make sure to follow the horses that are on screen at the moment. Tune in to Gronkowski on Wednesday night, Riff Rocket into Saturday, the Australian Guineas, and all the other ones we've highlighted so far on the Ratings Show. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.